Good evening.
Once again, we're back with another spooky stories. I think this time we're actually gonna talk about the stories behind what scares me the most. And would you say that the story that you're gonna be talking about is something that scares you the most?
No, it's mainly just one. I thought it was one of the most silliest ones.
Okay, so I guess he's gonna be talking about the most silliest, and I'll be talking about the one that scares me the most. Cause I'm already like nervous even talking about it. And truth be told, when I was editing last week's video, or the first part of this 2-part video, I was getting a little bit scared and nervous when I was editing part of the ones that I was scared about. So I'm not looking forward to this one. I'm so scared. Before we get started on the spooky stories, I want to talk about what I'll be doing while we do the spooky story. So I'm moving my philodendron Brazil to this pot. This pot is gonna be semi-hydroponic pot. I'm gonna fill this pot with leca, and I'm gonna fill this wire thingy with the sphagnum moss, and then I'm gonna have it trailing up. So my plan is to have it kind of like last week with the Pictus exotica, but this time I'm gonna be doing philodendron Brazil, and I'm also not gonna have this as thick, or diameter wise, I'm not gonna have it as thick as the Pictus exotica. Anyways, so let's get started. Okay. All right, so as I am starting with this repotting, I'm gonna tell my story first, or I'm gonna talk about my folklore first. Okay, so she is still scared. So my story is about Kuntilanak. Please don't come and get me. And she has different names, but the most common ones in Indonesia, her name is Kuntilanak. In Malaysia and in Singapore, her name is actually Pontianak. Wow, my heart is beating so fast right now. The legend behind her story, technically speaking, she is a mythological creature. She is similar to Langsuir, I guess that's how you say it, Langsuir, in other Southeast Asia region. But like what Julio said in the other video, I guess she is kind of like La Llorona. And in a way, I think she is kind of like La Llorona. Because, you know how, okay, so for La Llorona, her kids drown, right?
Yeah.
But for Kuntilanak, it's not that her kids drown, it's actually, she had a stillborn baby, but the baby never come out of her womb. And I believe she died with the baby.
Nope.
Right. And so she just kind of like go around looking for her baby. That's why, for me, I think that's what made her like the scariest.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't know, like, I love babies. I have a kid of my own. But also seeing a ghost baby, it's like so freaking scary. But this is like ×2 because this is the mama. So for me, it's even more scarier. Anyways, so the story also goes that she will lures in unsuspecting males. So she'll lure them in to incite fear and to seek revenge. I mean, I don't know if this is like the same story, but from what I heard when I was younger, she got pregnant through rape, and then she died
with the
baby, and then the baby ended up being a stillborn. And because of that, she has this like such hatred towards men, and she lures them in and then kill them and suck off their blood.
Wow.
How you can tell that she's around is you can hear like, not like a wailing, but more like a laughter, like a sinister laughter. That's how you know that she's around. And the scariest part is that if the sound of that laughter sounds far, that means she's close by. Also, you can tell that she's around if you smell this sort of flowery scent, but it's only like a specific type of flower. Growing up, I knew it to be jasmine. I've never smelled it. Like I've never smelled like randomly smell jasmine, but like if you go to cemeteries in Indonesia, you will smell a lot of jasmine because I think they do plant a lot of jasmine trees in Indonesia, or the plant. But I've heard that laughter.
In Indonesia?
Yeah. I actually heard the laughter when we were in one of our camping trips. This is a church camping trip, and I heard it. And my ex-boyfriend heard it too.
Wow.
Because I thought I was dreaming or whatever, right? And then I talked to him like the next morning. I was like, I heard this last night. And then he was like, so you heard it too? And then I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, what do you mean, so you heard it too? Because like I was just like, oh, maybe it was one of the kids or whatever, right? Because this was like a youth camp trip. So I thought it was one of like stupid kids trying to scare like everyone else. But he was like, so you heard it too? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's not really like it's a very, very like, yeah, like her background is super, super short. But like I mentioned last week too, there are a lot of movies about her, shows. Like she even made it into this horror game. I played it once on stream. And I actually didn't finish that part of the game. Sorry, because I was so scared. But it's by an Indonesian developer. And yeah, she made it into a game. According to like a lot of myths and like what people have seen, her appearance is, she appeared to be a very, very beautiful woman. Long hair, long black hair, pale skin, long fingernails, like apparently like super long and sharp fingernails, and red eyes. She kills her victim using her long fingernails. Like she'll take out their organs so she could eat them. Yeah.
Delicious.
So one of the things that I think is super, super interesting, and I didn't know this until I did my research, but one of her ways to find her victim, or to locate, one of her ways to locate her victim is by their scent, by their clean scent. So
that's kind of odd.
Right. But because of that, people in Malaysia, they will not leave their clean laundry out at night.
I thought you were going to say they wouldn't shower.
That would be me. I'll be like, I'm so scared. I'm not going to shower. No, but yeah. So people in Malaysia, actually, they won't leave their clean laundry out at night because of that. Because that's how she locate her victim, by their clean scent. And if you have your eyes open when she is near you, or when she is trying to eviscerate you, she will suck your eyes out of your head. So I guess she doesn't want people to see.
Yeah.
Or she doesn't want her victim to see.
Yeah.
Or something. But I don't know, man. Like, what would you do? I mean, I know you don't, like, believe in that.
I mean, when I was younger, I would get a little bit more scared a lot easier.
Right. I think you mentioned
be more
that.
scared of the dark and all that stuff. But I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would. I mean, I don't know what I would do.
Because, like, her cackling is similar to the sound of a witch.
Yeah.
And it sounded very, you know, that eerie cackling that you hear in movies?
Yeah, typical witch.
Right. It's kind of like that. But I actually didn't know until I did the whole research that if she sounds far, that means she's near. And if she sounds near, that means she's far. So, like, if she sounds loud, that means she's near you. Because when I was at that camping trip, when I heard her, she sounds pretty near. She sounded loud, dude. It's not just like, kind of like over the mountain type of deal.
I mean, it could be anything. It could have been a coyote.
I don't think we have coyotes in Indonesia, in the mountains.
You don't know.
Especially. I actually don't even know what kind of wild animals we have in the mountains of Indonesia. I know we have snakes.
Coyote's pretty common. Or there's another one that's related to the coyote that also like cackles like that. It could have been like that. No, foxes don't really make a lot of noise.
I know we have foxes in Indonesia.
What's the other one?
Raccoon?
No, the raccoons don't really make a lot of noise. I mean, when they fight, yeah, but even then, it's not really a lot, you know.
Right.
It's just like normal hissing type of noises that they make. So nothing big. So yeah.
Another thing that is super, super interesting, apparently she is associated with banana trees.
What? Why?
Because apparently that's where she lives during the day. Her spirit resides in banana trees during the day.
I feel like they made that up to prevent people from stealing other people's bananas.
I don't know.
Like all these folklore stories, they always have, like, even a scary one, they always have like a hidden message, you know, like if you do this or that, it's like this and that is gonna happen to you. Like maybe that was a common thing where people would steal, you know, bananas and then all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, you know, we came up with this story where this lady will, like, you know, take you away if you try to grab a banana in the middle of the day.
Maybe.
So, I feel like that's what they did, honestly.
I think it's also said that if you're on your period, I'm pretty sure this is because of like hygiene wise, but I just remember, like, I don't know if it was one of my maids or my nannies, but they were telling me, okay, now that you're bleeding, now that you're on your period, that you have your period, this is like when I was like 13. It's like, now that you're on your period, when you're done with your pads, make sure you roll them before you just throw them out. Don't just throw them out without wrapping them, because otherwise the Kuntilanak is gonna find you. It's gonna find your virgin blood, and she's gonna come for you.
Yeah, see that?
I seriously think that it's because of like they don't want you to be like nasty and just like leave out.
It's like with my story. Once I get to it, you know, I'll explain the things that I like people would say, or like even like Mexican culture, or well, talking, you know, from the perspective of like Mexican culture, where they would tell kids like, if you don't do this, then you know this and this is gonna take you, or like. Like, you know, this and that is gonna happen to you, and like it's just like, and I mean it is a scare tactic that unfortunately it works, but it's also like traumatizing for kids.
Oh my god, it's so traumatizing. I was so traumatized. I was so scared. I'm still scared. I'm pushing 30 and I'm still scared of Kuntilanak.
Like for me, you know, like if you want to scare someone, I don't think that's the way to do it. But hey, I don't know. But yeah, now that you mentioned that they did that to you, then I think it's mainly a something to keep kids in check.
A scare tactic.
Yeah, it's a scare tactic to keep people in check.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a lot of bananas being stolen and a lot of
girls just leaving
their pads there.
Used pads in the bathroom, trash can or whatever.
I mean, I don't blame them. That's something that they have to deal with. Sometimes I guess it's difficult,
That is still super effed up though. So yeah, I guess that is my story on the Kuntilanak. I know it's like very, very short and it might not be as scary for you guys, but I guess because I grew up with it, I've had people tell me stories about her or like tell me that, oh yeah, I saw her or whatever, I hear her and I heard her myself. I think that's part of the reason why I am so scared of her. All right. What about yours?
Okay, so mine is a little silly.
It's okay.
It's a little silly, and
we love silly.
But even then, it's sold in Mexico a lot, and in fact, there was the name was used for a radio like talk show type of style, I guess, like where I think it was broadcast like every night around 8 to 9 p.m.
Wow, is it like one of those like scary stories?
Yeah,
to tell?
It's like you would call in and kind of tell, I guess, scary stories, but more like quote unquote like real.
Like what people experience, right?
Yeah, what people have experienced or like hauntings that they are experiencing at the moment, or whatever. Like it can go from anything, honestly. Anything paranormal, I guess. The name of the show was called La Mano Peluda, or La Mano Panocha.
Huh?
I know.
Stop.
That's what they called it.
The pussy hand?
All right. So, La Mano Peluda is basically hairy hand. It's literally just a chopped off hand that is hairy. Or panocha, I have no clue. I think it's
pussy.
Well, there is a vulgar word for that in Spanish in Mexico. That they refer it to the female.
The female genitalia.
Yes, but also when I believe it also translates to basically something that's like cushiony or like puffy, like pachon. When you say está pachon,
like the genitalia.
When you say está pachon, is that it's like very puffy and like bushy in a way.
That's why it's called panocha.
I'm guessing. Honestly, I'm guessing that's why they would call it that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyways, but what's it called? Yeah, it was a radio show that they had at the time, but there also is a story behind that as well. Like not of the radio show, but of the actual La Mano Peluda, so yeah, they had the radio show. People would call in, tell their stories and everything. And yeah, it was just what's it called? So originally this story originated in 1908 in Puebla, Mexico, and so La Mano Peluda also is not just in Mexico, but also in like other Latin American countries apparently. Basically, it talks about this. So I'm gonna tell the perspective of the Mexican version of La Mano Peluda. I'm pretty sure it does. It is a little bit different than like the other Latin American cultures. This one originated in Puebla, Mexico, and basically it talks about this guy that would collect money from their the tenants and people that he would rent to and all that stuff. His name was Mr. Horta. So the man apparently was very short and heavy and bald with a lot of hair on his body.
Is he the Mano Peluda?
So that's apparently why it originated, because basically he was very greedy and he had like no remorse or mercy towards his tenants, and like basically would not even leave them with any dime at all. So he was a very greedy man, that honestly had like no fill, like he just wanted everything. He wanted to basically.
He just wants money.
Yeah, he just wanted money. He would walk around the town with his wife, and the people would call the wife, or gave the wife, the nickname of La Gangosa. So basically, like, they would make fun of
His wife?
his wife because she was mute, I'm guessing. When you call someone Gangosa female or Gangoso male, you're referring that they try to talk, but obviously they're not able to speak.
Jesus.
And so that's like a way of calling someone
like
vulgarly,
right.
making fun of them in a way.
That is so cruel.
Yeah. So the guy also used to wear a lot of rings around his hand, and obviously it was hairy, and then with all the rings and everything. Eventually I think he passed away, and somebody that used to, the grave digger or whatever, who used to take care of the cemetery, that he witnessed a hairy crawling hand, like basically going around the tombs and everything, so
like trying to find, like, was he trying to like get other people's,
I'm guessing, trying to get other people like
belongings and
yeah
stuff.
belongings. And it says nowadays there's still people that swear that they have seen the hairy hand running in the fields, looking like a big deformed tarantula that is searching for more victims to kill, basically. A lot of people in Mexico also believe that it lives underneath your bed. So yeah, they would tell, like, if a kid didn't want to go to sleep, and be like, hey, go to sleep, otherwise La Mano Peluda will come and get you. Or like, don't get out of your bed because La Mano Peluda will get you.
Jesus.
So in a way, like I was saying,
to scare
scare kids to make them, quote unquote, behave and actually sleep, which is kind of screwed up,
It's so screwed up.
I believe my parents did use that once or twice on me. I'm pretty sure more than twice, where they would say, like, La Mano Peluda, and I was actually legitimately, scared a little, because like, wow, there's something underneath my bed that's like a big hairy hand. Like, I don't want to get down. Like, I would be scared of like looking underneath my bed, But yeah, I mean, it's a very silly short story. Mine's a lot shorter than yours, like, but I wanted to
put it in the limelight a little.
Put it out there, because it's not really well known,
right?
Even though, like I said, there was a radio talk show in Mexico, like in the 90s and early 2000s. When I was researching about this, apparently the guy died because
the radio talk
host died when he did an interview. So the story goes that he did an interview about someone that called in, explaining to him that he made a pact with with a specific devil, that he basically, his family was going through like very hard like financial hardship, and they were struggling, that he wanted to by any means find anything,
right?
So he started learning, apparently, like like other languages, Latin, and like other, like, I believe Greek or something like that, where to basically like pray or worship or call in like the specific devil. So the guy called in, and basically he was trying to like summon a devil to help him with his
with his
financial issues. You know, obviously the conditions were that he couldn't help anybody, and that he was given apparently like a set amount of money. And eventually, yeah, he used that money, but then after that, I guess he felt bad for someone that he ended up helping them. So after that, like I said, one of the conditions was that he couldn't help anybody,
he's not
because
allowed to.
otherwise he would be punished.
Right.
When he called in, he was like very desperate, but because he was like, I've tried everything to take this off me, like to
to take off the deal.
Yeah, to drop the deal, and I've tried talking to a lot of people and such, and this woman that is right next to me, it keeps on tormenting me and like trying to choke me, and a dead person. So the dead, apparently that one of the punishments, I guess, was another entity that was, I guess, like another part of I don't know what it was, a demon or whatever.
Right.
Where the lady would like scream and choke him and like ask him like, why did you do this? Like, why would you do that? Like gosh. This and that. And so when he was calling into the show, apparently the lady was right next to him. So, you know, like they even brought in like a priest to help him, like you know, pray and all that stuff. And the priest asked him to pick up the Bible, and he's like, no, I can't, it's too heavy, I cannot pick it up. And he's like, okay, then try to open it. He's like, you don't understand, I cannot open it, like it's very heavy. And like there's a lot of like, apparently after that, like three more entities like showed up, and like they were like around him, like, you know, like talking to him, screaming at him and all that stuff. And he was like talking to them or trying to like I guess reason with speak them in Latin, I guess. I don't know. It's very like low quality, so it's, you know, it's hard to understand what he's saying.
Everything was caught in video.
No, this was back in 2002-ish, so the internet was still pretty primitive, you know, ish. At the time. Yeah, so it wasn't the greatest. But anyways, the guy lived in Los Angeles apparently.
Now?
No, I think he's. I don't even know if he's still alive.
Wait, not. Who lived in LA?
The caller. The caller lived in LA. The host. The host is dead. The host died, apparently because of him.
Because of the
caller. So, you know, time passed by. They try to help the caller. I can't remember their names, but he tried to help the caller. They couldn't, and they haven't heard from the caller or anything.
Who's the one that is not allowed to help? The caller is not allowed to help?
No, they couldn't help him at all. Like they couldn't help him. Like the priest and the host could not help him with this issue. Oh. But they try to get in contact with the caller again, in regards to, you know, his situation.
To get an update.
Yeah, to get an update and to see if like how he's been and all that stuff. So he try to gather the caller's information, his address or whereabouts where he used to live. You know, he apparently went to his house in Los Angeles, and people were telling him, don't go there, it's haunted, like the house is haunted, don't go there. The one in LA. Yeah, the one in LA. The house is haunted. He went and knocked at the supposed house of the caller. So he went to the caller's house, and people were telling him not to go because it was haunted, etc. He found the house of the caller. Apparently, he found the house of the caller and knocked on the door. Apparently, a big, tall guy, like tall, skinny guy, like looking almost dead, you know, like answered the door and
like a butler.
I'm guessing. Butler, I guess we would call him, answered, and he just nodded that that specific person was not there and did not live there. And then he shut the door like in front of his face, basically. Wow. After a while, he was able to get in contact with the caller, and the caller was like I haven't been in my house for a while. Like that was not me. I don't know this person. Like, how can that be? Like how could someone answer, you know, the door? Forward again into time, 2010-ish or 11-ish, I believe. they were doing a special program where they were doing a special because the La Mano Peluda, the talk show, or the host was doing a special about like one of the most like intriguing stories that from colors and all that stuff. And basically they managed to get in contact with the person, but this time they actually did like a video footage, like documentary type of style, when they were like talking to the guy, and then all of a sudden hyperventilating, I guess, or like shaking like pretty bad, not the whole,
convulsing,
yeah, like the collar, and then the host was just like, on the video you can see that he was just holding his hand like towards his chest, like apparently he felt like a pain or something like that when that happened. And I think a few months or a year after, the host died because of that or something like that. I don't know, it was very weird. It was very, very odd. I remember listening to that show when I was a kid though. I would sometimes, like, I was very curious about it, but obviously I was still a little bit afraid of like listening to it.
Right.
Like nowadays I can listen to them and like,
I know, like I don't understand. Like we'd be watching scary movie and he won't bat an eyelash, and I'm like covering my face the whole time.
yeah, sometimes you're like holding me and all of a sudden like I feel the squeeze. I'm like, babe.
I gotta hold on to something.
Is that so?
Yeah.
But it was a really cool show.
Well, talking about that whole, how he was asking or making a deal with the devil. I knew some people, or I've heard stories like that in Indonesia, where people would go to this one specific mountain, or like not just one specific mountain. I believe there's like several, but they would go to this mountain and then they would pray to the gods, asking for wealth, asking for fame, and they did receive it, with one condition, that they give up their firstborn.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the guy, actually the caller, killed his grandma because he had to make a sacrifice.
Right.
Like a sacrifice from a family member.
Right.
And he was like, well, my I can't sacrifice my mom because she's my mom. I can't sacrifice my siblings, sister and brother, because like. And then he was like, well, then I started thinking about like, well, my grandma has already lived her life. Like she technically speaking has, like, she's old of old age, and like, I mean, literally he was saying that, there's nothing else going for my grandma. Jesus. So it's the only option. Right. So, yeah, he murdered his grandma, and after the police came, apparently they didn't find any like evidence or anything like that. It was very odd. I mean, for me, I think those stories are like made up and they just hire actors, but that's just me though. Oh, I have another one. Basically, I mean, I guess it came here as well, but I think it mainly started here, honestly. But the whole like el chupacabra and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Like the sucking goat or animal or creature. I mean, like where they found it, and
are they real? Chupacabras?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh my god! Speaking of chupacabra, I actually know chupacabra way before I came here.
Well, it was.
They talked about it in an Indonesian TV show. Like in one of those like daytime television, like news gossip, whatever. They talked about chupacabras.
It was a big deal because a lot of ranchers had their cattle mutilated, and like, yeah, it was very.
But yeah, I saw one. I think it was during my summer break, and then I was watching daytime television.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about like this viral video about chupacabra sighting or whatever, like caught on tape and whatnot. I was just like, that is so scary. Like, I remember thinking it was so scary, and I was so freaked out by it. But anyways, proceed.
That's it. Just the whole thing about the chupacabra and like how people were scared, and yeah.
You're not scared of chupacabra?
No, a little. I was when I was a kid, a little bit, but I honestly don't even know when I started losing it. Like
losing your
every once in a while, I will get the heebie-jeebies whenever I'm like in a dark place. But most of the time,
I always have the heebie-jeebies when I'm in a dark place. Remember, I can never go inside the dark room by myself. I always have to have someone beside me.
Yeah.
In the dark room. When I was in college, so I think I mentioned that I graduated from an art school with a bachelor's of photography. You know, let it be known that I'm a professional photographer with education. But yeah, like I think we had like several darkroom classes, and this one time I really need to finish this project because I need to submit it. And I was like, oh my god, I can't just wait around until someone is willing to share the darkroom with me. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm gonna go in this time. I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna do this. Right? So motivated. Went inside the dark room, locked the door, turned off the light. 10 seconds later, I was out. I had already like set up my stuff. Like I already started grabbing my my film canister and everything else. I put on like music that will not make me overthink. 10 seconds later, I was like, yep, nope, I can't do this. Bye. And then I think I waited for you to come. And then we did it together.
I think I do remember that day.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. I kept on thinking somebody is going to grab me from underneath the table. So we had to take I guess it was not a short break. It was a break. We had to take a break because...
We had to pause.
We had to pause because my battery was dying. So... we had to charge it for a little bit, but I finished with the repotting, getting it propped up. I think it looks better now. Now we just have to wait.
It looks great.
Yeah, now we just have to wait until this grows and becomes more full. If it grows more taller than this, I'll just be adding more of the
Soon we'll be in the jungle.
That's the plan. What do you think about our stories, or what do you think about the folklores? Mainly the folklores, because that's kind of what our plan was for today, and we kind of just derail and talk about other stories that remind us of like certain ghosts, or I guess certain mysterious creatures and whatnot.
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comment section below of any other folklore from your countries, or something that you've heard of, or something that happened to you, or even similar stories to ours.
I'm pretty sure most of the folklore stories are similar. In one way or the other, they're like very relatable.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed. Thank you for everyone who's been watching the videos so far. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to him. But yeah, thank you everyone.
Appreciate it, guys.
We appreciate it so much.
All right, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe and click on the little notification bell, make it go ding ding. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Peace.